What's cracking with you people? Anansi here and welcome back to Ninja Gaiden Sigma. In the last one, we completed the first chapter of Ninja Gaiden. I forgot to show this off. I meant to do this, as I guess in the moment I kind of forgot. But once you get past this title screen, if you hit proceed, you get a ranking. The ranking, I believe, but I have so far my personal playthroughs, I've only seen three rankings. It is Lesser Ninja, Head Ninja, and Master Ninja. I think Head Ninja is pretty much, just pretty much the average performance. It's just a ranking system. I don't really know what you get if you get all of a certain type, but I would assume that if you can get all of a certain type of ranking, like all of, like Master Ninja or something, you will probably get something special for each chapter. Anyway, let's proceed. Chapter 2, the Hayabusa Ninja Village. The village is burning. Before long, Ryu hears the screams of his brethren. Short and to the point. There is no time. Go now and protect your people. So I know that last episode I was kind of like going back and forth on a couple of things, trying to get my thoughts out as much as I can, and just kind of explain the differences between Sigma and Ninja Gaiden Black. To a point where I completely forgot that Ninja Gaiden Black, I believe, was the second release of Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox. At least I think that's how it is. I've seen some concept art that pretty much makes it out to be like there was a release of Ninja Gaiden before Black. And you may notice some me kind of pausing once in a while. That's because when I played Black, I was used to certain things being different. For instance, I kind of hinted at it earlier, but selecting your healing apparatus, well, your healing items, you used to have to go into the menu, and this menu has been incredibly streamlined. There used to be like all these different sub menus. It was a clunky mess, but you used to get all these extra sub menus to get to your items and whatnot. I believe these menus were streamlined for Sigma. Another thing that that was different was that you would see the kunais come flying out of nowhere. You remember from the previous episode, and with these kunais you would get a quick description, some cryptic advice to better acclimate you to the series. And as you can tell, the advice is given to you by Ayane. She will just be off in the distance, just throwing these kunais at you. Well, I won't say at you, but along your pathway to help you better, to help hint you towards what you need to do. One thing that was changed is that in Black, Ayane would narrate these statements. Like you would get the kunai, you would pick it up, and Ayane would, and you would hear Ayane narrating them. Doesn't happen in this one, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss it. The art of the fire wheels. And how you do this, you go in, select this, you select whatever you want, and then you activate this by the switch by hitting X and A at the exact same time. It's pretty much your super move. Ninja Gaiden is weird about this, because even though you have these special techniques, jump behind here, you get one of these. Because even though you have these special techniques and whatnot, they expect you to not use them. You get ranked if you do not use your special techniques. Smoke bombs, pretty much a way to disorient enemies. I, so far, have not used them. It's designed to be your projectile weapon. So let's say I do this and do this. Oh, wait, there we go, press A. They're pretty much useless. So I set the shuriken. They're your infinite ammo ones. All they do is disorient your enemies and making it easier for you to get hits in on them if you feel like you're being overwhelmed. They're kind of crowd control weapons. And you'll get more throwing weapons I think are do a better job at the very least than this. Now I guess the enemies, these samurai. Which you think about it, really makes sense that they would be given a ninja hard time because they have more armor, and if you go by what people who study ninja art say, ninja were not meant for head-on combatants. They were more in the shadows kind of people, like recon and whatnot. They were meant to avoid direct combat. Right here. Okay, so let's click back into here and dive down. You usually want to come back and dive down in these areas so you can find goodies. Doesn't appear to be anything around here. But yeah, no, that was something I was not prepared for when I first picked this up and started doing this. I was expecting Ayane to do the narration still, because honestly I do kind of miss hearing her do the narration, even if the voice acting in this game is very stiff. And yes, this is the same Ayane from Dead or Alive fame. She's the secondary protagonist of that series. So yeah, there's another way it kind of ties that series together. So if you like your crossovers and interlinked universes, then this is the game for you. Give me a sec. So now, one thing about Ninja Gaiden that I am getting used to still is how limited the combos really are. I'm used to having all of these combos that I can bring together and really, you know, what's what I'm looking for here, and really just dominate my enemies with. But in Ninja Gaiden, you don't really get a lot of combos per se. What you get instead, is increased weapons attack. Because like all combo action games or just heavy action games, you will be able to upgrade your weapons and abilities. Oh, see, here we are, right here. When entering water, continue to hold the left stick. You will run on the surface. You must perfect this skill. If you let go of the left stick, you will fall in the water. So yeah, it's pretty simple instructions. Incredibly cryptic. Nothing that's going to like hold your hand, because the Ninja Gaiden is not going to hold your hand. But it is something worth noting. Now then. So go here. A fallen member of the Hayabusa clan. He took his last breath here, lying amongst the burnt remains of his home. He holds something in his outstretched hand. So yeah, you'll be coming across fallen members of your just corpses along the way, and they will be holding stuff that you can use. It is a Jizo statue, a guardian deity of children and protector of the village. Its head is missing. We gotta find the head of this statue. Okay. Now, I should mention this, and this is something that I'm not 100% certain how it works, but as long as you're performing combos and are in the middle of like a string of attacks, you won't get overwhelmed by attacks. For instance, there are some enemies that will use projectile weapons on you later in the game, and other enemies that will kind of ambush you. But as long as you're performing like attacks and whatnot, and as long as you're in the middle of attack animation, they give you some leeway in the sense that you will get invincibility frames so long as you are actually connecting with an enemy. So that's something to take advantage of while you're on your great ninja journey. Alright. Middle and down, so we go down here again, we should see this. Another of the Hayabusa brethren is slain by the invading enemy forces. His inability to protect his village must be haunting him even in the afterlife. Statuette. So yeah, not all of them will hold something, but you still want to check the corpses. A stone circle. Made in ancient times, now it is simply a silent gathering of rocks. Well, I guess that will be important later. So now if we go up here, what's this? In order to widen the crack here, a very strong impact with a heavy blunt object is necessary. So we can't do anything with this now. I'm gonna tell you right now, you cannot do anything with that right now, so don't even worry about it. Place the head on the statue. And you get a life of the gods. Now I meant to do this earlier and I completely forgot, but as you come across certain items in the game, you have your basic healing elixir, your full heals, your life of the gods. The life of the gods, you don't want to use these just yet. You want to actually save these up because you can use them now, but it doesn't do you much good because you want to save them up till you get one of these, the Lives of 1,000 Gods. This will increase Ryu's maximum health limit. However, it will not recharge your health. So pay attention here. See, my health went up, but I didn't gain more health. If that makes any sense. Like I didn't recover any health. So the moment you get them, don't try to be strategic and like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna wait and then I'm gonna use one of these at the right moment to increase my max health and recover health. No, just go ahead and use them. Trust me on this. You're not doing yourself any favors by trying to save them up. So now I'm going to go up here.
A dark samurai clad in black armor. Master Ryu, do not attempt to fight it.
Bow. Shooting. Basically, it's just telling you how to shoot in first person. You're not going to use the bow very often, and luckily when you do need to use it, it's not incredibly taxing. Now you see, Anani's still alright, she's just unconscious. But not unconscious, but you must find Miss Kureha. Be careful. Please hurry. Please hurry. Now, those parts I believe were never voice acted. I think they're just kind of there. So you can always just kind of talk to them to get more info and whatnot. Then another The course of another fallen ninja. What were his last thoughts as he looked in the darkness? Now, over here we have another elixir of spiritual life. And we have elixir of the devil way. This is pretty much how you. This is how you replenish your nimpo, your ninja art. You want to try to avoid using as much as possible, just because. Now we have a statue of the diligent old man Muramasa, a legendary blacksmith. There are folk tales of people who have approached the statue and walked away with various items and weapons. So yeah, this is your shop. And Muramasa makes more than one appearance in Ninja Gaiden. Well, not Ninja Gaiden, but just in what's the one for here? In Team Ninja's projects. Let's see. Since I actually have the money for it, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get the armlet of the sun. An armlet engraved with a picture of the sun. When equipped, use attack power roll increase. This is one of a couple of items you can equip to your character. So you go to accessories and you go to armlet. You get the armlet of the sun, and it does have an aesthetic function. You see it now on Ryu's left arm. So having this pretty early on does help. It doesn't help by much. You still are going to be relying on your skill to get by. You can also use Muramasa to buy health items and whatnot. And as you can see, that you can kind of see, you already saw the blacksmith section. That's your upgrades. I will let you know right now, you are not buying new weapons from Muramasa. Or at least if you can, I don't know when it happens. Ducking weed. I fully expect to die here a couple of times, I'm not gonna lie. But you will get other items from Muramasa, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Beyond just the stuff you can buy. Size and range attacks, okay. Obviously the red essence owners give you, another fire reel or another nympho attack. Yet another familiar face. How many of the Hayabusa clan have been slain? Well, a lot, judging by everything that's going on. Now, I'm not going to use a lot of my nympho arts. Just for the sheer fact. Okay. I think that we're going to kill from that, because these enemies can be kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. They're not the worst enemy you're going to deal with, but man oh man can they be a pain. You got your archer, you got your spearman, and what you were trying to do is you're essentially just trying to do simple crowd control. Because unlike games like Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden is not afraid to attack you from off screen, which can be considered cheap depending on your point of view. I find it cheap. I wish that was something they would have fixed, but part of the challenge. I think in later games they would fix that to where it wouldn't be much of a problem. Another Ryu's comrades. This poor soul has been shot through with arrows. Although the thought of disturbing a dead body is unpleasant, some of the arrows still seem usable. Maxed arrows. You're supposed to use your arrows to essentially take out these enemies, but in the original Ninja Gaiden and in this one too, the arrow mechanics are incredibly clunky, and I don't particularly care to use them. And yes, another one did respawn, so yeah, you're not out the woods yet. So my recommendation to you is to get behind the enemy as much as possible and go from there. There we go. And I'm pretty much out of healing now. Come on. Yeah, I remember getting to this section. I remember it just being really difficult. Just because, you know, I think I want to say at least in Black anyway, they kind of force you to use they kind of force you to use the bow and arrow mechanic to take care of these enemies, and it is not the most pleasant sensation out there. I got 2 archers. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay, so now we got those to deal with. I think what we're going to do is we're going to use the bow. But they have an infinite source of ranged weaponry. Let me get full heal. There we go. There we go. Go on. Come on. And just like that, we got these taken care of. I'm not gonna lie, the mountain enemies are probably gonna be your most hated enemies in the game, just because of how unrelentingly annoying they can be. Making our way through the ruined Hayabusa village, trying to hopefully find any survivors and see what is going on with regards to this invasion of the village. A cemetery where the ancestors of the Hayabusa clan have long been buried. A cold chill can be felt in the air, as if the spirits of the clan ancestors have been awakened from their eternal sleep. So, yeah. The only thing that you can really surmise is that the invaders here are after the Dark Dragon Blade, because, you know, it is said that the spirits gathered in stones. However, the days when this artifact possessed such power are long gone. Yeah, but, you know, it's, I mean, it'd be the Dark Dragon Blade, considering that 8 is the only game that the Dark Dragon Blade is even remotely brought up. And 2, you know, make a big deal about it. Just saying. Yet another slain ninja lying face down in front of the bridge leading to the heart of the village. The enemy forces have gotten this far. He holds something in his outstretched hand. Great Spirit Lecture. Okay. Let's go ahead and save here. That horse needs to see a dentist. Okay, so not gonna lie, this particular fight can be annoying just because you gotta deal with these shamans and the boss at the same time. And before you ask, you know, the shamans do not infinitely respawn, but dealing with them is really difficult to do when you have this thing coming in and out of screen all the time, to make your day needlessly difficult. Do a full heal there. So I recommend that what you do is just deal with these guys until they stop spawning, and just be mindful of the loss, because it's pretty much just the mounted spear enemies we just dealt with, just as a boss. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this. Show this off. So, yeah, there we go. This is the Art of Flame Wheel. This is pretty much your barrier. It doesn't make you immune to damage. As a matter of fact, right there, you can pretty much see it doesn't. The bosses do not care if you have a damage going on or not. It just makes dealing with enemies a little bit easier if you're having a hard time. Also, if I do die on this boss fight, I'm going to cut out the next attempt until I beat it, because the bosses in this game can honestly, being 100% with you, they range from being legitimately difficult to just annoying. Like this boss here, I would not classify as actually being hard, just annoying. Like Mariah is a decent challenge of barrier. It's probably going to me here. I would argue that the difficulty of this boss comes from the ads. Oh, yeah, that's right. We have a Talisman Reaper. I forgot about that. Yeah, I would argue that the difficulty of this boss comes from the extras helping him fight, because they do this vanishing act, and then they got the freaking got your guard break move that does damage as a guard break. So yeah, anyway, I won't call it to the next attempt. Huh. The very next attempt. Okay, let's go ahead and pick up a spoils of victory. Counterattack. So when blocking, you use Gleaming Cross or Fiend's Bane Kick, which will allow for you to counter enemy attacks immediately after blocking them. So I believe you have to block, get hit, and then you hit the buttons at the exact moment they hit you. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Now, I guess the best way I could put what happened just then is that I pretty much ignored the advice I just gave you to beat the boss and just fought him head on, um, and then used the enemies to give me health drops. Um, Valid strategy too. I'll leave it up to you how you want to play. You can play aggressive and um, take down the enemies as they appear, or you can just fight the boss head on and go from there. Let's go ahead and save here. I do not want to do that fight again. I remember that fight being ridiculous when I first played it. That right there was a counterattack. So remember, you have these attacks because they will save your life in later encounters. Because this game, Ninja Gaiden, you can't really cheese this game. At least if you can, I've not found the way to do it. It will make you grind, and it can be frustrating. But it's honestly kind of fun, frustrating. You know, like not a lot of games actually give you this kind of challenge anymore. At least make it fast and well. How to put this? Yeah, you games like your Dark Souls and recently Crash Bandicoot the Insane Trilogy, but that's hard because your muscle memory is going to mess you up on certain levels in that game. Dark Souls and whatnot, they're just more slow-paced, heavy-hitting moves, slow-paced, heavy-hitting series, whereas Ninja Gaiden is kind of like fast-paced and really puts you to the test, It's like you have to be on your game the entire time. I say this, I've only played one From Software game in my entire life. Now, see, here's a bit of a trick for this part. You don't want to be inside this house. Get out of the house as soon as possible. And fight them out here. Life of the Gods. Because if you fight them in the house, you're going to be dealing with, let's look right here. You're going to be dealing with, you're going to be dealing with the these occasional explosive fire techniques. You're going to deal with these random bouts of explosive fire. So I wasn't trying to use that there, but that's why I get the time to use one of the other blocking techniques. More right. It's not okay. Get out of here. And that's that. Where are we now? Oh, the Dark Dragon Blade. You got your struggle move, so see if we can. Don't you breathe your face at me. There we go. And that's the end of chapter 2. So I guess I should go ahead and mention that in that last fight, you can fight that boss and try to win, but it is really difficult. As you can see there, I got hit for 1-hit kill. So I'll leave it up to you if you want to try to beat the boss. They give you the chance to beat it. At any rate, I've been Anansi. You've been awesome. And as the Master Ninja, I will catch you later.